Here on Escape to the Country, we love a house with a history. And during World War II, this 19th century manor house behind me was home to arguably some of the most daring airmen in British aviation history. So who were they and where am I? Find out in just a moment. Today's house hunting duo have sold their holiday home business in France and are now looking for their piece of the English countryside. I'll be doing everything I can to help them. Well, it just happens I'm actually in the market for some French furniture. So there's a deal to be done here.
Oh, right, right.
But I wonder how far they're willing to go.
Is there a bus service?
Come on! This is going to keep you young and fit and healthy.
Absolutely, this is great.
Today, I'm in Lincolnshire, and behind me is Petwood House, which during the Second World War was home to the brave officers of 617 Squadron, known to you and me, of course, as the Dam Busters. Now, in 1943, 133 airmen took part in probably one of the most unique and bravest raids in military history. And although, unfortunately, 53 of the airmen never returned home, at the time, Operation Chastise was deemed not only a huge military success, but also a massive morale boost to Great Britain. The average price of a detached Lincolnshire home comes in at around £175,000. That's a whopping £107,000 or 38% below the national figure, which currently stands at £282,000. So a terrific county with, I can assure you, some terrific houses. All we need now is some buyers to show them to. Retirees Jacqueline and Brian have sold up their busy holiday home business in France and are looking forward to a slower pace of life in the English countryside.
Our home in France was in central Brittany and it was quite rural. It was quite a large house. With the main part of it we called the manor. It could sleep up to 12 people, and then we had 3 other buildings, and in total we could sleep 36 people. So it kept us all really quite busy, especially on changeover day when I used to do 22 loads of washing. So,
we had 5 acres of grounds and a swimming pool, and so there was always a job to do.
For Jacqueline, the green grass of home has always been at the back of her mind.
I was born and brought up in Lincolnshire. We were just a few minutes away from open countryside and fields, and when I was a child, my friend and I used to go cycling, and we always used to go out and around the Lincolnshire Wolds, and I really fell in love with the area when I was a child, and it's always been somewhere that I've wanted to come back to.
And with a new granddaughter living in Lincoln, there are plenty of reasons to return home. However, there is a more immediate concern pulling our couple back from the continent.
Jacqueline's father is approaching 90 and is increasingly frail, and we were pretty concerned about him, and this is one of the reasons why we've decided to come back to England. He needs looking after, and his house certainly needs a lot of work doing to it, and so we've decided we would stay with him for a while whilst we were trying to find somewhere suitable for us to live and also big enough for him to come and live with us.
However, moving back in with Albert has not been plain sailing for our retirees.
Where we were before was very large and we had a lot of space, and now we're in quite a small building and we've got somebody else there all the time, and we've tried to get all our things and all my dad's things all into one space, and it's quite challenging, really.
So, with more reasons than ever to return home, Jacqueline and Brian are definitely looking forward to the next stage in their lives.
From my point of view, it's a new chapter. You know, we took up the challenge of going to France, and we can tick that off and say we did that. And now we've got a new chapter to enjoy our retirement, pursue some interests, and also just enjoy being with our families.
I think I'm looking forward to being back in England and having a home that's not a house and not a business, just a home.
With Jacqueline and Brian wishing to move to within a 30-minute drive of Lincoln to be close to friends and family, and in particular their 18-month-old granddaughter, we're concentrating our search within a 15-mile radius of the historic city. I'm meeting up with him on Lincolnshire soil to go over the details of their move.
Good morning. Good morning.
Ready for some house hunting in Lincolnshire?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a long way from France. Is that all done and dusted now?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is. We
Francis.
completed in January, and all our stuff is in a container now somewhere in Lincolnshire. So...
Bad for you, music to my ears. That means I've got committed purchasers on board.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's talk about the property itself. You've got your father on board, Albert. I take it you're looking for a bit of space inside the house. How big is it going to be?
Well, we'd like to have a downstairs bedroom and facilities for my dad so that he's not having to go upstairs.
OK.
That would be ideal. Stair lift might be an option.
Stair lift could be an option?
Yeah.
Good. OK,
Yeah.
so we could be looking at a standard 2-3 bed house?
Minimum 3.
Minimum 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, OK. Now, would Albert require his own bathroom?
Yes.
OK. So, could we look for a house that maybe doesn't have the bathroom yet and you could put one in? Is that, or is that too much work?
Yeah,
Yes,
no, that's a
we
possibility.
are into DIY.
Oh, we are into DIY. Hello, is that a royal we?
It is, yes, oh yeah.
OK, you make the tea, dear.
No, I do the DIY, he makes the tea.
Well, in my experience, it's probably a lot more devil in the detail. You're probably best for that. OK. Do you want a separate dining room, open plan?
It would be nice to have a separate dining room because we like to entertain. Jacqueline is a very good cook, enjoys doing dinner parties and that sort of thing. So it would be nice to have that facility, but we need to be realistic.
So is a big kitchen on the shopping list? Please say no.
Doesn't have to be a big kitchen, as long as
Right.
it's reasonably sized.
Outside the house, do you want a garden?
Yes, that'd be lovely.
Yes, Jacqueline enjoys gardening. I'm a good mower.
So, what's the budget?
270,000.
OK, you sound pretty sure on that. And that's money to spend right now. You've got nothing to sell.
Absolutely nothing. I can write you a cheque now.
Well, let's look at the houses first.
OK.
But I do like your confidence. Let's get going.
OK.
With £270,000 to spend, Jacqueline and Brian have a great budget for the area. They're looking for a spacious property with character that will enable them to accommodate Jacqueline's father. 3 bedrooms is a minimum, and they'd also love a good-sized kitchen, a separate dining room and a manageable garden. A village location in striking distance to Lincoln is also essential. We have a fine range of country houses for our couple to feast their eyes upon, but price tags will remain a closely guarded secret until Jacqueline and Brian have completed their viewings. While our last offering, the Mystery House, will attempt to introduce them to a different way of living whilst answering all of their prayers. Do you enjoy yourselves over in France?
Yes, very good.
Oh,
It's
yes.
very interesting.
It was one of those experiences that I'm glad we did.
But you moved away from your family and all those grandchildren. How did you find that, Jacqueline?
I found it very difficult, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I missed out on so much.
So you're hoping to redress that with a move to Lincolnshire, then?
Yes. Yes, I'm really looking forward to being more involved with the family and with our friends as well, because we've got a lot of friends in Lincolnshire.
We're kicking off our house hunt to the west of Lincolnshire in the small village of Brant Bruton, a 20-minute drive from Lincoln. Its high street is lined with attractive red brick houses, many of which date back to the 18th and 19th centuries. Today, locals and visitors are well served with all the essential amenities, including a village hall, a pub and a village shop, whilst its Grade 1 listed Gothic church is said to have the most elegant spire in Lincolnshire. Our first property lies within a conservation area and is tucked away from the heart of the village. OK, so just off the main village road, we have this lane which leads us to a collection of houses, including our first property we're going to have a look around.
Oh, right, OK.
Right.
It's very cute. It's pretty.
Pretty. Good, I'm glad you said that.
It's
I think
pretty.
it is.
Yes.
What are your first impressions of the location, Jacqueline?
It was a surprise, really. I was not expecting it to be up a little lane.
OK, let's go inside.
OK.
Lovely.
Dating back to the 1800s, this attractive brick and pan tile cottage started life as a barn. But an extensive programme of renovations and refurbishments through the years has created a versatile and characterful home.
Oh, right.
Right, OK.
Were you expecting this?
No.
No, I bet you were.
No, not at all.
No, very, very interesting. Yeah.
Quite contemporary, isn't it, Jacqueline? What do you
It
think?
is, yes, very contemporary, yes. And that I wasn't expecting either. I was expecting it to be more traditional.
Cottagey.
Yes.
All right, let's keep looking through. Follow me.
OK.
OK.
Now, as it stands, this, well, it's clearly a dining room.
You know, I'm not sure in terms of sizes of rooms. It's a little bit small.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've bought some furniture back from France, and our lounge in France was 45 foot long. And so, you know, we'd have to get rid of quite a lot of furniture.
Well, it just so happens I'm actually in the market for some French furniture. So there's a deal to be done here.
Oh,
Right,
right, OK.
All right, well, let's suck it and see. Let's go and take a look at the kitchen next. Thank you very much. So far, the contemporary living arrangements and dimensions of the rooms downstairs don't seem to be winning any favours with our couple. So I'm hoping the modern kitchen may convince them of the merits of this property. Now, just mind your step coming past the stairs here. Jacqueline, you tell me you're a very keen cook.
Yes.
Talk to me about this kitchen.
It seems quite small, actually.
I love the combinations of woods and things in here.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Very nice.
It really is well done, isn't
But
it?
it feels more holiday cottagey as opposed to a place to live in.
That's a fair point. What do you think, Jacqueline?
Yeah, I think that's actually perhaps a good description of it, really.
Right, OK. Let's go and have a look at the upstairs accommodation just
OK.
here.
Brilliant.
Despite our couple's reservations, Jacqueline's father is certainly well catered for downstairs, with his own ground floor bedroom and bathroom. Upstairs, the property has an additional 2 bedrooms and a family bathroom. Well, of the 2 bedrooms up here on the first floor, well, certainly this is my favourite.
This is very nice. It's light and airy and, yeah, it's good.
It sounds like you're describing someone else's house, not a home you might consider purchasing. Do you know what I mean? Even your tone is like, yeah, it's nice, it's this, it's that, it's the other. What is it that's making you think, oh, I'm not sure? Because that's what I'm thinking you're thinking.
Well, space, I think, is probably, and the fact, you know, our furniture definitely wouldn't fit in here.
Yeah. Let's take a bit more of this house in. In fact, let's go outside to the garden
Fine.
and start thinking about price, OK? Can I just squeeze through the middle there?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. So, with the house thoroughly inspected and analysed, it's time we move downstairs to the garden. OK, so outside space.
It's a bit on the small side. I was kind of hoping that it would have been a bit bigger garden.
It's starting to be the theme for the house for you
Yes.
guys, isn't it?
Yes.
It is quite small.
All right, well, how much do you think this house is on the market for? You want to go first?
You go first.
Jacqueline clearly doesn't
Okay,
want to go first.
I'll
She
go
looks straight
first.
at you.
I think that it's a very well presented property, but on the small side, so I'm going to guess £265,000.
OK.
That was exactly what I was going to suggest.
Well, if you'd have been
Should've
more
gone
gallant...
first.
I'll say 270.
270. Well, the early bird catches the worm because it's on the market for £265,000.
Oh.
Well done. I think I know where to go from here. I think you should have a good look around the house, the rest of it. Go and have a look around where your father would stay and the ensuite bathroom there and the other bedroom, because these are the other bits that make our house hunt slightly different. You know, we're looking for ground floor living and things like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So go and have a goose around and I'll catch you later on.
OK.
All right?
Thank
Speak to
you.
you in a bit.
Thank you.
At £5,000 below budget, this historic detached cottage certainly offers Jacqueline and Brian all that they require in their new country property. Located close to Lincoln, the house squeezes in a lounge, a kitchen, a separate dining room and a garden. And although not a huge amount of space, there's enough room to accommodate Jacqueline's father with his own downstairs bedroom and bathroom facilities.
OK, so this would be the room that my dad would have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nice room.
It would need to have a single bed. He wouldn't be able to have a double bed. There wouldn't be enough room.
No.
I think to make this house work for us, we probably would be needing to make an extension, which, because this property is getting near to the top of our budget, then that's probably not doable. So I just don't think really that it would work.
The property has been done up really well. They've made great use of the space that's available, but there's not enough space for us.
Generally, I think this property is beautiful. I think it's been done to a very high standard. I think it would be lovely for somebody else, but it's just not right for us.
So you're happy you've seen everything you need to see?
Yes, I think so.
I think
Thank
so,
you.
yes.
OK, on to the next one.
Okay.
The Lincolnshire Wolds are a stretch of low-lying chalk hills that were formed 10,000 years ago during the last ice age. The Wolds span 216 square miles and are home to many chalk streams, which are internationally recognised as rare habitats. Brian and Jacqueline have come along to meet Will Bartle and Richard Osmond, who are part of the Lincolnshire Chalk Streams Monitoring Group, to find out more about these fragile waterways and to also discover how they can help their local environment.
We're wanting to move to Lincolnshire, and we particularly enjoy the Lincolnshire Wolds, and wondered if there's any opportunity of getting involved in any voluntary work, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of opportunities to get involved, especially with the Lincolnshire Chalk Streams project.
Right.
And we have people coming to do work days, but we also have people doing riverfly monitoring, like Richard here. To tell them a bit about what you do.
Yeah, I live here at the mill house.
Wow,
and we've got a lovely chalk stream here, which is the River Bain, and once a month I go and basically do a kick sample and look at the invertebrates, and it's basically going to tell us how healthy the river is.
Yeah.
Would you like a go?
Sounds really interesting.
We have some spare waders.
Oh, yes, we do.
Kick sampling involves the disturbing of a riverbed to allow water-based life to be collected in nets. Chalk streams contain rather unique ecosystems, as their waters are extremely pure and have a very stable temperature. Home to many species, including the brown trout, otter and kingfisher, it's the number of tiny invertebrate samples collected in just 3 minutes that will give Will and his team the best indication as to the health of a stream.
Not easy to walk in them, are they?
OK, well, if you just come round here and just pick your spot, and you need just one of your feet, whichever you feel more firm on.
Yes.
And just roughly disturb the surface. You're netting at the bottom. That's it, just keep going. That's it.
Once the allocated time for kick sampling is up, the contents of the nets are carefully tipped into a bucket before being transferred to a tray for closer inspection.
Now we're going to try and identify what's in here. So we've got our technical equipment here, our turkey facers.
Will carefully sucks in one of the invertebrates and checks which species it is using a reference chart.
So we've got one here, so which one do we think we've got in our tray?
Yeah,
Two tails.
on the back.
Is this one?
Yep, so we've got ourselves a stonefly. So number one.
Having got all this information and recorded, where does it go to and what happens to it?
We put it into the Riverfly Partnership database. We can see any fluctuations. So, for example, if there's any real drop in numbers, we know that something has happened to the stream. So that might be pollution has happened further upstream. So, you know, it's vital information of the health of our streams.
And with just 12 out of the UK's 224 chalk streams being protected and 77% of them failing to meet a good status, it's vital Will and his volunteers continue the monitoring of these beautiful and unique systems. For our second house on our property search, we're heading 16 miles east to the village of Dorrington. It has plenty to offer, including a butcher's, a local pub and a village hall, along with a delightful scenic pond complete with ducks. However, just 2 minutes down the road lies Ruskington, whose busy high street easily caters for the needs of locals, with its large variety of amenities and shops, including a supermarket. But back on the edges of Dorrington, we have our second offering. Now then, what do we think? Option number 2.
Oh, wow.
First impressions, Jacqueline.
Prefer it to the first one.
Why so?
I don't really know. It looks bigger. It's just more attractive. Like
Yeah, it looks charming.
Charming, that's a good way of describing it. Let's go inside, come on.
OK, great.
This delightful English cottage dates all the way back to the 1700s and has undergone some extensive refurbishment in its time, with its current owner adding an extension just 2 years ago. I'm hoping this will help provide that fine blend of space and character that our couple desire. In we come.
Okay.
Now then, separation of living areas.
Yes, that's better.
Good.
I prefer that.
Yeah. There's much more usable space in here.
Now, follow me. Do you want to point something out on the way? OK, so let's just pause here for a moment. First of all, I know you wanted separate dining space.
Yes.
Big enough, surely?
This is great.
Yeah, that's, I like that.
And a piano.
Well, a little birdie told me you had a piano.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You're not going to say something needs sitting like a grand piano or anything?
No, it would sit there lovely.
Could you get used to that, ducking?
Oh, I could have a few feet chopped off my legs, I think. Yeah.
But isn't it lovely?
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Well, what's not to love then?
Yeah.
Well, the kitchen is all, well, pretty much new. Let's go and have a look at it.
Right, OK.
So far, the house really seems to be delivering. But will the kitchen live up to Jacqueline and Brian's expectations? So, there's a breakfast kitchen. You know, it frees up that middle room, doesn't it, if you've got room for dining here as well?
Oh, that's
Yes.
great, yeah. This is a lovely kitchen.
And it's very light as well.
Yes. Well, it
Which
needs to be,
is
and those
good
windows
for
and that
the
return
kitchen.
help, don't they?
Yeah.
I know you've come from a huge property in France to this, so do you think you could adapt to this size of property, do you?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, one of the reasons we came from France was the amount of work involved in running a large place. Running a place like this would be much easier.
Yeah.
And as we get older, being realistic, it would suit us better.
Very practical. Music to my ears.
Always is.
Always is he? Well, let's go upstairs and have a look at least one of the bedrooms, OK? Just
Fine.
mind your head, I'll come after you.
OK.
Though the cottage doesn't have any ground floor living arrangements for Jacqueline's father, there is a good-sized staircase that will comfortably accommodate a lift, allowing Albert access to upstairs, where we find 3 double bedrooms plus a single, and there's a family bathroom. I'm showing Jacqueline and Brian the largest of the bedrooms. Righty-ho. Now, how's a bedroom for you guys? Big enough?
Yeah, it's good size.
Yeah, it is a good
Yeah.
size. Nice room.
Behind that door, ensuite shower room and loo.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Fairly compact.
Yes, but works.
It works, but this is where I've got this conundrum for you guys, really, because is this a master den for you or for your dad?
This
Yeah.
would work well, and it could give him a nice sitting area and so forth.
And lovely windows to sit in front of and read a book or whatever you listen to music.
Yeah.
So with the inside coming up with all the goods, it's time we headed downstairs and outside, where I have one little surprise for our couple. Now this pathway leads us to even more garden.
Really?
Oh,
Up the 50-metre stretch of path lies a little secret, but the long walk is definitely worth it. Now this is something you might not have expected.
No.
no.
Are we still in Lincolnshire?
It's a long path, but it's your path. That's the most important
That's
thing.
amazing.
Eh,
Wow.
this is a lovely garden. Is there a bus service?
Come on. This is going to keep you young and fit and healthy.
Absolutely. This is
Okay.
great. Great for kids.
Yes.
Wonderful. Superb.
Definitely got
Yeah.
potential.
So, how much would a place like this cost?
Oh. I would say 285.
All right.
I'm going to say 269.
She's good. £269,950.
Really?
You are good.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
But whilst you're up here, have a good scooch around this garden.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
And when you're finished, I'll meet you. Well, I'll come and find you. How's that?
Okay.
All
Okay,
right?
that's
See you in a moment.
lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bang on budget, this charming cottage goes a long way to give Jacqueline and Brian everything they're looking for in their new property. With separate kitchen, living and dining areas providing the style of living they're more suited to, it has the added benefit of space. And although there may not be a downstairs living option for Jacqueline's dad, with 4 bedrooms upstairs, there are certainly plenty of options available to comfortably accommodate him.
Well, this is a great space. It's not overlooked. You could have some great parties up here. The kids could camp up here.
Yeah, it really gives a feeling of being in the country, doesn't it?
I love the house. I could certainly see myself living here. it does present itself very, very well. I'm a firm believer that you can make a house work for you, provided the basics are right. And I think there's lots of the basics are right here.
When I walked into this house, I like it a lot, but it just wasn't saying by me. Lovely cottagey houses, whilst they're perhaps ideal for Brian and I, we need to be very careful when we're thinking about what's going to be suitable for my dad.
Ah, so we meet somewhere in the middle. How'd you get on up there?
Very good. Yeah, interesting.
Interesting.
Totally new concept to the property that gives us.
Well, buy one, get one free, garden-wise.
That's right, yeah.
Inside, something to think about?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we've got the time to do just that. That's all we're seeing today, so I'll take you back. Come on.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It's the second day of our property search in Lincolnshire, and armed with a budget of £270,000, we're hoping to find returning expats Jacqueline and Brian a perfect country pad. Coming up, I'm hoping our mystery house can perform a combination of miracles. The Holy Trinity, if you like.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Good. And I'll be taking a futuristic machine for a spin. There's a lot of screens here. I mean, this looks like a spaceship. Two really strong properties yesterday. Whilst the first house may have been a tad on the small side, the second property really struck a chord with Brian. He was even talking about putting his piano in there. Although on reflection, I can't help but feel that Jacqueline was maybe dragging her feet. And I think this has something to do with the fact that, well, they've moved from a massive house in France, and she's maybe struggling to get her head around the whole downsizing thing. Which is why I'm really looking forward to showing them both the mystery house. I reckon we have to be practical about this. Yes, they've got a good budget for Lincolnshire, but it will eventually buy them a modest-sized house. But it needs to give them both a sense of space. And I think the mystery property today gives them just that. Let's see what happens. For our last house, we're heading to the small rural village of Branston Booths, 15 minutes from the centre of Lincoln and 3 miles from the lively village of Hayington. Lying within a shallow valley, the village of Hayington is characterised by its golden limestone houses that cluster around the high street of the old village. Along with a local hall, a supermarket and a post office, Hayington boasts 2 pubs, one of which, the Butcher and Beast, is rather unique as it's the only pub in the whole of the UK with that name. However, leaving the pub behind and heading back to Branston Booths, we have our next property to explore. Right then, the mystery house is this Wesleyan chapel.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Well, I think this could give you that fine balance between practicality, that space you have inside,
Yes. Yes.
and a certain style and character that you're after. And right at the top of the list, I know that your dad Albert has to be catered for. So I think this gives us all those 3.
Okay.
The Holy Trinity, if you like.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good. Let's have a look inside. Let's go at it this way. Come with me.
Okay,
Okay.
brilliant.
The Methodist chapel and schoolroom was built in 1911 and remained a place of worship until it became derelict in 2002. Its current owner completely renovated it 6 years ago. And while the outside oozes curb appeal, I'm praying there's enough going on inside to convince Jacqueline and Brian of the benefits of this property. In you come. Now then.
Oh, wow. This is amazing.
Wow. It's surprising, isn't it?
Yeah.
What
was
a-
not expecting a space like this.
What a difference. Goodness me, this is superb.
Now, kitchen. If this isn't big enough, I'm retiring.
It is pretty large.
Stunning kitchen, lovely floors. Wow. Yeah.
What do you think? This is all open plan.
I like it. I don't know whether I would like to live in it.
Keep an open mind, Jacqueline. This house could work for you guys. It really could.
Okay.
All right? Come with me. Up these little steps. Now, great living space. You could very easily separate this from the kitchen.
Yes.
But come upstairs and let me show you the master. It's absolutely smashing. Now, if you're not keen on open-plan dining and kitchen, you might think this is a bridge too far, but look at it. I absolutely love this.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, ensuite, you've got your separate shower, loo and basin.
Oh,
what have
really?
you,
You're right.
just in
Oh,
there.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could, if you wanted, just carry this straight on up.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
easily. So it's not open plan. Jacqueline, what's that face mean?
I know what you're saying. I just feel that if you were to do all of that, you're going to lose the character of the place.
I honestly don't think you'd lose any of the character if you did something as simple as just put a stub partition up here. I mean, this could just be a guest bedroom if you liked, couldn't it? And then you could live downstairs.
Well, we haven't seen the whole of the downstairs yet.
Let me show you. So with just the one bedroom on the mezzanine, the majority of the living accommodation in this converted chapel lies on the ground floor, an ideal setup for Jacqueline's father, consisting of 2 additional double bedrooms, a modern tiled family bathroom, a study room and a fully functioning utility, perfect for all Albert's needs. So a pretty good size double bedroom, suitable for you or your dad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
With one
definitely.
next door as well? Where would you want to sleep yourselves?
I would choose to be not next door to my father-in-law.
I know exactly what you mean. We don't need to say any more about that, do we?
No. Yeah, this is a lovely room, isn't it?
Come on, Jacqueline, you've got to love this.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'll give you that.
You'll give it good, good. You're holding something back. I know you are. All right, well, let's go outside to reflect, but also start thinking about price. Let me just squeeze through the middle there.
Yeah,
Thank you very
absolutely.
much. So, while Brian is clearly very excited about this property, Jacqueline needs a bit more convincing. So I'm just hoping there's enough garden outside here to win her over. Now, I think the outside space is probably your biggest compromise here, isn't it?
Yes.
Could you do something with this?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Is this keeping one's card close to the chest again, Jacqueline?
Oh, sorry.
Well, maybe I get to gauge your opinion of this place with your guessing the price.
I think 275.
Brian, any advance?
Well, that's exactly the figure I was going to say.
Oh, come on, you always
But
say that.
I'm going to say, no, it's truthfully the case, I'm going to say 270.
You've pulled it back. This beautifully converted chapel is on the market for offers above £250,000.
Oh, really?
And in speaking to him, I think he expects to settle below 270. It's one of those few conversions that really, really does work.
Yes.
But it also works for you, for your ground floor living aspect of your search, which is quite something. I think go back inside this chapel, have a good look around,
Yeah.
and then I'll meet you when you have it done. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
Catch you
Great
later.
stuff.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Comfortably falling within Jacqueline and Brian's budget, this chapel conversion undoubtedly provides a fresh and modern living experience for our couple. And though its open plan arrangement may not quite hit the mark, there is plenty of scope to change this. Plus, with lots of downstairs living space, this property certainly has enough room to easily accommodate the needs of Jacqueline's father.
So what do you think?
Well, it's amazing, actually. I can't... it's quite breathtaking when you walk in here.
Space is magnificent, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen as good a chapel conversion as this.
No, it's really good. It was quite a surprise when we walked into this space, just how lovely it is and how well it's been done. And even though open plan's not really my thing, I do appreciate that it is a really lovely space.
Well, when we arrived outside, I thought, oh, a chapel. And I thought, well, this looks pretty good. And then when we came inside, I was staggered, actually. It is, quite breathtaking when you walk in.
Now then, all done inside?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Still smiling?
Yes.
Yes, very much.
Does this chapel make the shortlist? That's all I want to know.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Now's the time to sit down and chat everything through then.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
The Lincolnshire Fens lie to the south of the county and originally consisted of fresh and saltwater wetlands that have been artificially drained by man for hundreds of years. The retreating waters have left behind a rich mixture of minerals and salts, creating some of the best soils for farming the UK has to offer. Today, I'm meeting with Julian Peroni of Jack Buck Farms to find out about what he produces. Morning, Julian.
Morning.
How are we doing?
All right. Very well, good to see you.
You too?
Yeah.
Now, beautiful day. In modern day terms, it's Lincolnshire that's the Garden of England, isn't it?
Without a doubt. We've got the best soils in the country.
How much farmland have you got here?
Well, we're farming about 1,700 acres.
Goodness me.
We're probably best known for celeriac, because...
Which is this here?
Here it is.
I mean...
Yeah, not the most beautiful vegetable in the world.
She's ugly.
It is ugly, yep.
It's a root vegetable.
Yep.
This is all cleaned off. I mean...
There it is in the dirty form.
You've got a lot here. I mean, how much of the celeriac that's eaten and used in the UK do you grow here, do you
We think we grow about 90% of the UK's, yeah.
So pretty much all of it here?
6 million heads of celeriac.
And how do you store them? How do you keep them fresh then?
There's a lot of refrigeration there to keep them fresh.
So these are chilled,
These are chilled
massive
stores,
units.
yeah, yeah. All summer.
Now, Julian, it's a beautiful day. I can hear all the machinery whirring and banging away. What can we get up to?
We can go and do some sugar beet drilling.
Can we?
Yeah.
Does that involve
definitely.
big tractors?
It does.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
This family farm was established nearly 150 years ago, and today it produces a wide variety of crops, including fennel, daffodils and sugar beet, which is planted by drilling seeds into ploughed soils. I'm hoping to help in this process by lending my hand to a bit of cultivating using some rather modern technology. Now, I've got to say, this looks like a proper bit of kit. This is modern farming
This
now,
is
isn't
modern
it?
farming. Yeah, what we've got here, class tractor, about 180 horsepower, double wheels to reduce the soil compaction in the
Yeah.
spring, and we've got satellite steering in, so it will steer itself each pass across the field.
How much is this?
I think we'd be looking at about 105,000 now.
I would like to get into a £105,000 tractor, if I may.
You certainly can.
Can I?
Look.
Great stuff. Inside, it's another world. Well, I've got to say, there's a lot of screens here. I mean, this looks like a spaceship.
Certainly.
Right then, so how do I start this thing? I see a key.
Push the clutch,
Yeah.
so it knows it's out of gear.
Yeah.
Start it up, just like a car. It will start, and here, off we go.
Satellite navigation combined with self-steer technology enables fields to be cultivated and planted with an accuracy unobtainable by man alone, all with a push of a button.
That's it, and it's steering. The tractor's steering itself.
It just feels so alien. I've got no foot on the clutch, the brake, the throttle. The key to effective cultivating is to reduce to a minimum the amount of times the land is worked twice. How much are we overlapping by?
About 2 inches.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
This is about making it much more efficient as a business, isn't it? You're saving money on...
I think it's making the operators more efficient.
Yeah.
When we're saving money on inputs. This is technology which keeps our production costs low, keeps us efficient,
Yeah.
keeps us competitive in the world market, which is where we've got to be.
Absolutely love that. It's no surprise. I was really looking forward to today, but it's been really interesting, but obviously a lot of fun. So thank you very, very
My
much.
pleasure.
Well, as far as Brian's concerned, I reckon he has 2 firm favourites out of the 3 houses we've shown them. But then when it comes to Jacqueline, well, I've got no idea where she's at, as all through this process she's kept her cards pretty close to her chest. So let's catch up with them and find out their thoughts. Well, you've had a bit of time to think things through. Mm-hmm. What are your current thoughts? Favourite house?
Favourite house, without a doubt, was the Mystery House.
As you walked around that property internally, you seem to maybe like the mystery property more and more. Is that right, Jacqueline?
Yes, yeah, I think that's probably true.
Why so?
Well, as we talked about what the possibilities were, then the open plan issue started to diminish.
When I first went in there, it really did stun me in terms of I was just so surprised.
I could tell you liked
how
it.
good inside it was.
Run me through the next step for you guys then, as regards to the mystery house.
Well, I'd like to have another look at it.
OK, good.
I think we need to have a look at the area because it's an area of Lincolnshire that I don't know. So see what's around, find out how long it's going to take us to get into Lincoln because that's quite important to how we think that things are going to be in the future.
Yeah.
As it is at the moment, I don't think it's quite right, but we just have a think about it and see if we think we can make it work.
What do you think your father Albert would make of the mystery property?
He said as long as he's got a chair and somewhere to sleep, he'll be happy.
Well, he's easy to please. Should have gone looking for houses with him. Could have shown him anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, are you looking forward to this next step then? I mean, you're a step closer to, you know, getting your dad under one roof, you know, living together as a family, but obviously with your own space.
Well,
Yeah.
the more important issue for me is Jacqueline and I finding our next home
Yeah.
to live the next chapter of our lives.
Well, all that's left for me to do now is wish you the very best of luck. Let me know what happens next, won't you?
We will.
Good. Been a cracking couple of days, hasn't it?
It's
It
been
certainly has.
very good, thank you.
You know, I think Brian and Jacqueline have learnt a valuable lesson these past couple of days. They've gone from perhaps dismissing a house because it wasn't perfect to looking at a property and saying, yes, we like it, but how can we make it work for us? And I think that's an approach we could all adopt when looking at houses, especially when you have something specific on your shopping list like ground floor living for an elderly relative. So with that in mind, I hope they do go back to the mystery house and they can find ways of making that property work for them as an entire family. I look forward to finding out what happens next for them. I'll see you soon. Jacqueline and Brian did return to the mystery house, and though they thought it could work for them, both felt that its location wasn't quite right. So their search continues with a few viewings already booked in the diary. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, England, Northern Ireland or Wales and would like our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show. Here on Escape to the Country, we love a house with a history. And during World War II, this 19th century manor house behind me was home to arguably some of the most daring airmen in British aviation history. So who were they and where am I? Find out in just a moment. Today's house hunting duo have sold their holiday home business in France and are now looking for their piece of the English countryside. I'll be doing everything I can to help them. Well, it just happens I'm actually in the market for some French furniture. So there's a deal to be done here.
Oh, right, right.
But I wonder how far they're willing to go.
Is there a bus service?
Come on! This is going to keep you young and fit and healthy.
Absolutely, this is great.
Today, I'm in Lincolnshire, and behind me is Petwood House, which during the Second World War was home to the brave officers of 617 Squadron, known to you and me, of course, as the Dam Busters. Now, in 1943, 133 airmen took part in probably one of the most unique and bravest raids in military history. And although, unfortunately, 53 of the airmen never returned home, at the time, Operation Chastise was deemed not only a huge military success, but also a massive morale boost to Great Britain. The average price of a detached Lincolnshire home comes in at around £175,000. That's a whopping £107,000 or 38% below the national figure, which currently stands at £282,000. So a terrific county with, I can assure you, some terrific houses. All we need now is some buyers to show them to. Retirees Jacqueline and Brian have sold up their busy holiday home business in France and are looking forward to a slower pace of life in the English countryside.
Our home in France was in central Brittany and it was quite rural. It was quite a large house. With the main part of it we called the manor. It could sleep up to 12 people, and then we had 3 other buildings, and in total we could sleep 36 people. So it kept us all really quite busy, especially on changeover day when I used to do 22 loads of washing. So
We had 5 acres of grounds and a swimming pool, and so there was always a job to do.
For Jacqueline, the green grass of home has always been at the back of her mind.
I was born and brought up in Lincolnshire. We were just a few minutes away from open countryside and fields, and when I was a child, my friend and I used to go cycling, and we always used to go out and around the Lincolnshire Wolds, and I really fell in love with the area when I was a child, and it's always been somewhere that I've wanted to come back to.
And with a new granddaughter living in Lincoln, there are plenty of reasons to return home. However, there is a more immediate concern pulling our couple back from the continent.
Jacqueline's father is approaching 90 and is increasingly frail, and we were pretty concerned about him, and this is one of the reasons why we've decided to come back to England. He needs looking after, and his house certainly needs a lot of work doing to it, and so we've decided we would stay with him for a while whilst we were trying to find somewhere suitable for us to live and also big enough for him to come and live with us.
However, moving back in with Albert has not been plain sailing for our retirees.
Where we were before was very large and we had a lot of space, and now we're in quite a small building and we've got somebody else there all the time, and we've tried to get all our things and all my dad's things all into